All right, folks. Now, the news broke. What was it? Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken, about the whole allegations and all that stuff. Let me just say, first of all, thankfully, it seems that, it's been radio silent since, I want to say Wednesday. Tuesday, the story broke around afternoon, early evening. Wednesday, some media outlets covered it, the next morning, but that's been about it. I think in my live stream where I talked about it, I mentioned that typically whenever something like this happens, it's it's where when one person comes forward, a whole bunch more do as well. And I estimated that, look, it wouldn't surprise me if by this Friday, June 20th, several more people won't have come forward to say they were in a situation like Derek Dixon, but thankfully it hasn't been the case. But then again, it's too early to call. What I will say is that, in my live stream, which honestly went over pretty well, just going off the comments and whatnot, it was a conversation about what was made known to the public. But the thing is, we don't know the full truth. We know one side of the situation based off of, what was it, those 18 to 20 screenshots of personal messages and a 40 something page lawsuit that apparently Dixon filed in 2024, but no one made any, investigation or headway into his claim. So that's why it's come forward now. And to me, since I don't know Derek Dixon and I don't know Tyler Perry, despite what some of you might think, I've never interacted or talked to the man at all. The one and only time Tyler Perry did anything to something I posted online was I think he liked and retweeted one of my tweets, ironically enough, on the same night that the Oval debuted. And the tweet was simply me going, one of my favorite things about watching Tyler Perry shows and movies is seeing familiar faces like, hey, this person from that movie, this person from that show, because he likes working with them so much. And that was it. So despite, the writers and actors I've spoken with, never interacted with him. So I don't really know Tyler Perry. All I know is what I know of him from what the people I speak with tell me, which is hardworking. He knows what he wants when it comes to his shows. Cool dude, down to earth. That's it. So my whole thing is I can't pass judgment on anyone. I can't say Mr. Perry's guilty. I can't say that he's innocent. And I can't say that Derek Dixon is lying and this is a cash grab, nor can I say that he's a victim and these allegations are real. But what I can do is just talk about, what this might mean for the future of Tyler Perry content in general. Because again, I don't know how this is going to play out. And during the live stream, we talked about how, let's see here. This isn't good. I believe that Matthew Boyd, right? Is that his name? The head of Tyler Perry's legal team. He made a statement claiming that, hey, this whole thing is just a scam, cash grab, allegations are fake, and we're going to fight this until the truth is revealed. Something along those lines. But overall, we know from experience from the past 5+ years, whenever a CEO or musical artist or the head of a company or whatever the case may be, however you want to spin the tale, because we've seen this play out a number of times. Typically, a person of notoriety and power is usually asked to step down as soon as allegations are brought forward. They become a trending topic. It's like, hey, this artist was supposed to go on tour, but venues are canceling, or sponsors back out of deals, or hey, this movie or TV show is going to be shelved, and this, that, and the third, until things get cleared up. But even still, that's money lost. And when it comes to Tyler Perry, it's kind of different because unlike some of these other celebrities and whatnot, he owns his own stuff. I mean, for Viacom, it really is awkward because of the fact that Tyler Perry is so rooted in the content. For example, and remember, this is just hypothetically speaking here. What if it turns out he's guilty, or he is found guilty? Yeah, let's say that. Let's say this goes all the way to, the legal system and whatnot. Not the court of public opinion, but the legal system. and it turns out he's guilty. What is Viacom going to do then? Like, for BET, this isn't as simple as, hey, Tyler has like 2 or 3 shows, we're just going to take him off the air for a while. No. About what, like 98% of BET's airing schedule is comprised of Tyler Perry content. And then when you look at BET Plus, I believe he's part owner of the platform. And a majority of that is Tyler Perry content. And when it comes to like Prime Video and Netflix, he has those exclusive contracts, and his projects do just crazy numbers. You know, the timing of this, people are like, dang, this is wild, because he just came out with Straw, which is a hit. People are still talking about that movie. And then he just dropped Divorced Sisters, which has gained a lot of fan attention after only a couple episodes. And then in a couple of weeks, you got the upcoming Madea film on Netflix. And then the following week, you have the Return of Sisters on BET. So it's like, okay, will these allegations do anything to slow any of that down? And the question that I wanted to, bring up, or at least try to answer, is, I don't know. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say maybe not. It's just that typically when situations like this happen, I feel like there's more of a buzz. Some people have pointed out that, a lot of outlets that support Tyler Perry haven't really covered it. I mean, like Good Morning America and a few of the bigger outlets, yeah, they covered it. And, people are, pulling the race card, saying that if this was like a black person or something along those lines, then these allegations probably would have just been, and then nothing. But considering it's a white man making the claims, that's why it's getting a bit more attention than normal. And of course, it's impossible to go online and not see the Boondocks episode getting, posted everywhere. The one that they stated that Tyler Perry tried to get banned or taken out or whatever. And Christian Keys, the video he did, what was it, like late 2023, where he made Instagram stories or videos or something along the lines of a billionaire who was making advances towards him. His story was almost, very similar to Derek Dixon's in a way. He never named the person. And people, you're like, yeah, Christian Keys, why didn't you talk about that? I remember way back when, it's like, I never did any post or content about it because of the fact that Christian Keys never confirmed that it was Tyler Perry. So I didn't want to get on the bandwagon of making a video or something about a situation dragging Perry's name through the mud when it was never even confirmed it was him. But in this case, Derek Dixon does say, hey, it was Tyler Perry. Hence why I'm making the video and talking about, what, this could do for future Tyler Perry content output. And I think the main thing is this. As far as I can tell, just based off of what's been revealed, things like that, I think it's safe to assume the Oval will probably not be coming out anytime soon. Because season 6 had the mid-season finale mid-March, March 18th. And ironically enough, a few people asked me, I want to say Monday, about a day or so before these allegations dropped, like, hey, Jeremy, when do you think the Oval season 6 is coming back? And I said, well, when you look at what we're going through right now, it's not necessarily what's been happening the past couple of years, where there are portions of the year where there's a bit of a Tyler Perry dry spell, where Sisters is on hiatus, the Oval is on hiatus, and there's really nothing there. But I said, dang, when you really think about it, since Sisters, went on break in March, we've been, blessed with just an overabundance. There's been so much Tyler Perry content being put out that when Sisters comes back around, nobody can just sit around and say they were bored. We've had movies, we had new shows, and it's been pretty good. So I'm thinking that, post-pandemic, post-writer-actor strike, it's gotten to the point where the Tyler Perry content is going to be more spread out, as opposed to like Sisters is going to be back to back to back. No. Sisters will take the necessary and healthy amount of hiatuses. No more that Sisters hit the finale, then we're going to come right back next week. No. We're finally getting breaks to let these episodes marinate for a while, as opposed to letting the suspense fizzle out within 1 or 2 weeks because the show's coming back. And I thought, yeah, when the Oval comes back, it'll probably be when Sisters season 9A is about to wrap up. and then from there we'll move on to the Oval season 6B, and then Sister season 9B probably in 2026. But I'm guessing with these allegations, it's probably, it would not surprise me, that is, if let's say season 6B and season 7. Now, it was stated that season 7, according to the lawsuit and everything, that season 7 is the final season. Now, originally, I didn't believe that it was the final season. I thought it was one of those things where maybe it was Dale's final season, but not necessarily the final season of the show. But people have said that season 7 is the final season. If that is the case, thank God. I think the Oval should have ended a while ago. But they're probably going to be in a situation where perhaps Tyler's going to go back and either edit out all the Dale stuff or reshoot some stuff. I have no idea. I don't know if they would move forward with those episodes with Dale. So I don't know, because he did say that due to harassment and whatnot, he quit in the final season, costing him or making him lose up to like around $400,000. So it's just one of those things where I don't know. But hey, if they wanted to just write it where Dale drove off in the car Nancy bought him and he never came back. I literally said that in season 6 after Nancy gave him that the car and everything. I'm like, Dale, you need to get in that car and just drive off into the sunset. Get the heck out of DC. Get away from Kyle. Get away from Nancy and Richard and Sam. Get away from that pimp or whoever. Just get the heck out of Dodge. You have no reason to be tied to this city, because remember that cartel, what happened to them? The cartel that was supposed to be after him. So there are at least half a dozen ways he could just be killed off and that would be the end of it. But yikes. But yeah, as soon as more news about this story comes out, I will talk about it if it is, relative or anything I can possibly add to the conversation. But as I said, I'm not here to cast judgment or whatnot, because I don't know what happened. I don't know these people. And I just hope that, the truth, whatever it is brought to light and it's dealt with accordingly. So with that being said, I wouldn't go so far as to say the Oval itself is canceled, because, man, that would suck for the other actors, for one person to spoil it for the whole bunch. But we'll just have to wait and see how things play out. And plus, if season 7 is the final season, what's that? 11 plus 22. That's about 33 episodes total. So, And it's the Oval. It wouldn't surprise me if he pulls a have and have nots and everybody was just going to be killed off anyway. So, there's a lot of talk. Some people feeling like this is just a shakedown, and based off Tyler Perry's BET Awards speech, he said some things that people are like, oh yeah, we need to, put him in line, because, the theories that some people have of, hey, remember that Damon Wayans Club Shay Shay interview? Low key, no, actually not low key, but for real, in my opinion, that was probably my favorite Club Shay Shay interview ever. The one with Damon Wayans. Like, don't get me wrong, the Cat Williams one is legendary, but in terms of an entire interview where from start to finish, it was just a good listen or a good watch, it was Damon Wayans. And there were some things he was talking about, the power of black people and, this, that, and the third. And Shannon Sharp mentioning how, if these studios didn't want to do one of your old movies, I got my own production company. We could work something out behind the scenes. And then after that interview, that's when Papa's House got canceled. And then Shannon Sharp got hit with those allegations right around the time of the $100 million contract or whatever. But the thing is, number one, I always knew Papa's House was going to get the axe, because as the show was airing, the budget was cut and they kept screwing over the air date time. So I knew that was going to, get the boot. Shannon Sharp, I don't know. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. And I did listen to Tyler Perry's, speech, and he talked about how the powers that be are erasing our history and things like that. And I'm like, But I don't know. Everybody looks at not just the allegations, but the timing in which it happens. And regardless as to whether or not you think these allegations are true, I think we can all agree the timing is just crazy and it's not a good look. So it really is odd. And I don't know. I don't know how to say this. In a future where, let's say, he is found guilty and Tyler Perry's canceled and all of his shows are gone, what's next? Soap operas. Because ironically enough, people have been like, would you review General Hospital or something like that? And I'm like, I'm only doing one soap, and that's Beyond the Gates. But I did post, I said, if I ever stop Tyler Perry content, I would probably go into soaps because I am blessed to know that, hey, the experience I've gained doing this stuff for all these years has allowed me to give critical and descriptive feedback on whatever I watch. So knowing that the soap opera community has embraced me and is so willing to get my input on other shows, that just lets me know that if I ever decided to get off the Tyler Perry train, whether it be because of my own decision, like, you know what, I had a good run, these shows, I don't think I got anything to add. Or if the worst come to worst based off these allegations, I just opt to stop because, well, these streaming services and channels just decide not to play his content anymore. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm not worried about the future because I'm just like, hey, whatever happens, happens. But you just don't know these people. You don't. And I'm not saying he's guilty, but it just goes to show that you don't know these people behind the scenes. And I just feel like in these situations, you have people who are targeted, but then you have people who have self-destructive tendencies. And you would think that not just the Tyler Perry, but whoever else, when you see so many other people being brought down, like a Diddy or Harvey Weinstein or R. Kelly or Cosby or whoever else it may be, if that is kind of a bad example, but I'll say it anyway, because today ironically marks the 30th anniversary of History, which I don't know why the Michael Jackson estate doesn't do anything special for these anniversaries. Yeah, Michael Jackson is more than off the wall, Thriller, and Bad. Kind of like with Prince, he's more than Purple Rain and Sign of the Times. He did way more than that. But you know, with Michael, it's kind of like he was found innocent of, you know, the child allegations and whatnot. But when it came to, like, you know, when he settled out of court, it's like, cut off the whole Neverland thing and stop inviting kids over. Essentially, if you're found not guilty or if you settle out of court or whatever, basically cut yourself off from that thing that supposedly made you look guilty to begin with. Because it's like, look, if you say, if one kid said you did something and you didn't do it, then no more kids at the house. But in this case, when it comes to like these celebrities, man, they're getting this person, that person, this person. You know, if I am doing something, I better stop doing it altogether. Like, you know, I don't know. It's just weird. But yeah, just I don't know what they say. Separate the art from the creator or something like that. I don't know. I just know that when it comes to these shows, I'm just watching the shows. Some people say that they're self-inserts from what Tyler Perry wants in the shows, like Derek mentioning how the character of Dale is what Tyler Perry wanted in a partner or something. I don't know. It's just a lot of claims. Some people are saying he did it, some people not. But regardless, let's just agree these allegations are not a good look. And I hope that if it's fabricated, the truth comes out and it clears up, we can move on. Or if it's the truth, deal with it accordingly. That's all I got. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.